Hello everyone, my name is Anton Pelcher. I'm an engineer and I've been building fish farms for more than 10 years. Today I will tell you all about marketing of fish grown at your farm. What are the ways of marketing and selling fish? Why is this the most important question in my opinion? Because you can build a fish farm with a certain amount of time and money. But setting up marketing is much more important and sophisticated in order for your overall business to be successful. Be sure to watch this video to the end because you will learn not only the options and marketing channels, but also modern marketing tricks, including online, to promote your products. First, let's define the types of products. There are two main types of products. The first is live fish, which is an agricultural product. And the second is processed fish. This is already a food product. What is the fundamental difference between them? First of all, in the strictness of control on the part of authorities. If you grow live fish, it is, as I have already said, agricultural product, which is controlled by the veterinarians. But if you start smoking fish, processing it in some way, including deep processing, then you automatically fall under the requirements of Federal Service for Supervision of Consumer Rights Protection and Human Well-being, and thus you need to have additional permits and licenses to engage in these activities. So my personal recommendation is that if you are just starting, start with live fish production and immediately think about processing, probably outsourcing the services of a processing department. Yes, it will be more expensive to start with, but you will be able to test the technology and understand what you will need in the future in terms of equipment of your own processing shop. Next, you need to decide whether you want to sell wholesale or retail. There is no single solution, but in general my recommendations is that if you grow up to 10 tons of grow-out fish, sell in retail because it's not so difficult, the volume is small and you can earn additional margin. If you grow from 10 to 50 tons, it's probably better to combine wholesale and retail sales. It will be right. And from 50 tons of grow-out fish per year, sell wholesale and don't bother. The next thing you need to decide on is the format. The way of delivering your fish. Is it self-shipment or delivery? If self-delivery, everything is clear. You don't need anything special if you only sell live fish and only self-deliver. But if you start delivering live fish, you automatically need a vehicle with a live fish container. This can basically be any plastic container with a lid and a compressor connected to the cigarette lighter. So you will use this vehicle to deliver your live fish to the customer. If you are dealing with at least chilled fish, gutted fish, you will surely need a refrigerator and coolers. You will need to store this chilled fish at your farm before shipping, at least for a while, and then deliver it. It's especially important in the summer. Imagine when it's hot, deliver it also in a refrigerated truck. It can be either a car with a special air conditioner, or isothermal containers and special cooler bags, if you need to sell small volumes and you don't have the funds to buy special equipment. And here we come to the most interesting issue. Let's talk about who and how will be ready to pay money for your fish. And the first is wholesale. Generally speaking, wholesale presumes a lot of cold work. What is meant by cold work? You, or a specially hired and trained person, sit down and start calling restaurants, fish processors, wholesale companies, and so on. Generally speaking, wholesale buyers are potentially ready to buy your products. Then samplings, meetings, negotiations follow. Everything related to wholesale purchases. And what kind of companies would those be? The first category is restaurants. Portioned products are in the demand at restaurants. For example, a small sterlet, a portioned trout, African catfish in the form of fillets with unagi sauce. What kind of tips are there? If you come in with any new product that's not already on the menu should target is the chef. Until you and he resolve the issues related to the new dish, you will have no further negotiations. The second category is fish processors. Fish processors are one of the most interesting and targeted categories of wholesale companies. For example, large trout of at least 2 kilograms and better more than 3 kilograms, as it's in high demand, is processed into low-salted fillets, steaks. As far as sturgeon is concerned, the bigger it is, the better. Basically, they smoke sturgeon and supply it to various shops and markets, mostly on holidays. African catfish is more complicated to sell. As a rule, in my country, it's not known and accepted by processors at all. Why? They simply don't have marketing channels for this product. Therefore, most likely, if you come to processors and promote African catfish, they will refuse you because they have no options of its sales. An important aspect: processors purchase in bulk. They buy large volumes, but the price of fish fluctuates throughout the year. For example, if you offer the processors the trout in December, they will most likely tell you that they will buy the fish from you at the lowest price. Why? Because just at this time the companies from the northern countries and regions sell fish from the seas and put their products on the shelves, thereby lowering the overall prices. Fish prices are like an auction, and wholesalers have their own quotations during the year. But if you come to the processors in a conditional off-season, if you have an aquaculture system where fish is grown all year round, you can get the maximum prices and bargain for the best supply conditions. The third is government authorities. For example, we're now at an African catfish farm. Its meat is very peculiar. It's relatively inexpensive on the one hand and hypoallergenic on the other. In principle, it can be eaten even by children and pregnant women. Therefore, the meat of the African catfish can be supplied to schools, kindergartens, correctional institutions of the Ministry of Defense, and in principle to all state institutions that have their own kitchen and require supply quality, but inexpensive raw materials. What will they make of it? Most likely, they will simply process African catfish meat into cutlets, sausages, semi-finished products, just simple fried fillets. That is a standard cafeteria menu, where the African catfish will take a well-deserved place. The fourth target category is shops and retail chains. I think you often go to shops, retail chains, especially federal shops. And in those shops, you see separate designated areas where fish are laid out on ice. Those are the very areas where your chilled fish could potentially be. And if you supplied vacuum-packed fish, your reach across these chains is even wider, because the area with chilled fish on ice is provided for not in each and every shop. But it's important to understand that if you grow 10 tons of growed fish per year, it's unlikely that you will be able to sell to retail chains, because they need large volumes of supply. Therefore, I recommend approaching any retail chains if you grow at least 50 tons of growed fish a year, and even more of the federal chains. To sell them, you will need at least 100 tons. There is also one more special aspect. If you want to supply retail chains with live fish, most likely in addition to fish, you will need to put aquariums in each shop where it will be sold. Well, that's how basically all these chains work, at least in reference to my country. And if you want to supply chilled fish, you can only supply those shops where there is a display on ice, and it's not provided for in each shop. Another option is vacuum-packed processing. If you supply vacuum-packed products, you can supply almost any shop. This dramatically increases your reach in terms of shops and retailers. But you need to think about having your own processing or an outsourced contractor who can offer fish processing services for you. And moreover, you definitely have to think about marketing and promotion, because vacuum-packed products are not as obvious on the shelves as chilled fish. And we are moving to the second part, which is retail. And retail is the most relevant for you if you grow small quantities of fish. It's a more profitable sales channel than wholesale, provided you have a small farm. Which retail sales channels could I recommend? Probably the first is online sales through contextual advertising, targeting in social networks, ads. By the way, If you are interested in our experience, how we did it, follow the link to our site in the description under this video. Because after 2 days of work in experimental mode, we attracted the client applications for $1,000, having spent $100. In a couple of words, we paid around $50 to design a small landings page, which you can see following the link in the description. TROUT, live fish from our own eco-farm with free delivery in Moscow. And we launched a contextual advertising campaign, also targeted in the potential audience in social networks. The second is fairs and markets. By the way, if you have been to such fairs, make sure to press the like button. Fairs and markets have a number of disadvantages, and you have to prepare for them. You will have to negotiate, you will have to pay rent, and you will have to come and spend the whole day there. But the pros often outweigh the cons, because to the weekend fair especially, people go not for the low price, but for the quality of products. So you have a high flow of the most targeted customers, and you can sell as much in one day as you sell through other channels, for example, in a month. Next, selling from a car. I think each of you has seen such a big live fish car, which stops at a certain place. Put a small sign, live fish, and the seller just unloads the fish from the car. This is a good selling option. The most important thing here is to choose the right place with good traffic, and also to coordinate your place with whoever you need to in order to avoid any problems. The next thing is the farm location near a highway. If you have the opportunity to set up your small farm next to a highway with hard traffic, it's just perfect. I've had a number of cases where just a simple live fish sign with an arrow indicating an exit from the highway leading to the farm gave just a queue of retail customers at the entrance to the farm, because it's important for many customers to buy fish directly from the producer, being sure of direct prices and quality of the products. And developing this topic, people launched their own brand shops. Yes, there is a need to take care of the building, equipment, utilities, salaries, but the advantages and profits from this retail shop can far outweigh all the potential problems and drawbacks. In this video I have covered all the main aspects of fish marketing. If you have forgotten something, please write in the comments. It's Anton Pelcher. Press the like button, subscribe to my channel, the channel on how to grow fish and make good money on it.